For years, the name Jeffrey Epstein has haunted Washington. Now, a promise of transparency is colliding with a wall of delay. The Trump administration is under mounting fire after the Justice Department admitted that more than 2 million Epstein-related documents remain unreleased, and that full disclosure could take years. According to a court filing Monday night, the DOJ has released just 12,285 files so far. That's less than 1% of the total material in its possession. The rest? Buried in review. Despite deploying over 400 lawyers, hundreds of FBI specialists, and what the department calls substantial resources, officials concede that substantial work remains. At the current pace, critics say the process could stretch 8 years or more, a period when Donald Trump won't be in office anymore. This comes despite a clear mandate from Congress. Under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, signed into law last November, the Justice Department had 30 days to release all unclassified Epstein records. Redactions were allowed, but only to protect victims, national security, or active investigations. Instead, lawmakers and victims say they got a trickle. When the first batch dropped on December 19th, it was immediately criticized. Heavy redactions, missing records, and the quiet removal of images involving President Donald Trump. Epstein survivors called the release a slap in our faces.
The Justice Department has released tens of thousands of new documents connected to the investigations into late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. While voluminous, the release contained little revelatory information that wasn't already in the public domain. It contains multiple mentions of President Donald Trump, who was friends with the financier before they had a falling out. One of those mentions was in an email from a prosecutor who was flagging that Trump had traveled on Epstein's private plane multiple times in the 1990s. Trump himself has expressed frustration about the controversy over the files, saying that it was distracting from the successful work Republicans are doing.
Congressman Ro Khanna accused the DOJ of selective concealment. His Republican co-sponsor, Thomas Massie, now says contempt proceedings against Attorney General Pam Bondi are on the table. The department's explanation? Victim privacy. In its latest filing, signed by Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the DOJ says millions of documents are undergoing a painstaking review to prevent the exposure of survivors' identities. Officials admit that previous releases mistakenly included information victims believed should have been redacted. Now, the department says it is changing course. New review procedures, additional electronic quality control searches, deduplication of files spread across agencies, special teams assigned only to the most sensitive material. Even so, the scale is staggering. What began as over 1 million files has reportedly ballooned to more than 5 million records under review, and the clock is ticking. Epstein died in a New York jail cell in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. His death ended prosecution, but not the questions, not the anger, and not the demand for accountability. Trump, who once knew Epstein, has denied any involvement in his crimes, but the slow release of files is now reigniting suspicions and political pressure. Senators are calling for the DOJ's watchdog to step in. Victims are demanding answers, and Congress is warning, comply or face consequences. What was meant to be a moment of truth is becoming a test of trust. And for many watching closely, the question is no longer what's in the files, but why it's taking so long for the public to see them.
I think there's a lot of reasons for what happened in Venezuela. He's putting his oil industry friends first, but it's also an effort to distract folks from the Epstein files, from the economy that's a nightmare for a lot of families. This is a tried and true tactic. Stir up unrest somewhere in the world in order to get the cameras to stop paying attention to the crisis that families are facing here at home. And that's an element of what's going on here. All right.
The American people did not sign up for another round of endless wars. They want Donald Trump to focus on the problems here at home, on health care, on housing, on energy, on groceries. But Donald Trump's promise to keep us out of foreign entanglements is now as worthless as his promise to release the Epstein files. He promises his base one thing on the campaign trail and does the exact opposite once he's in office. And it's the American people who will pay the price. Absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Alston-Brooks.